Hello, everyone. I hope you're all safe and sound and holding up as best you can given the times. With the world reeling from the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, I wanted to reach out in this way as personally as possible as Executive Director and on behalf of the entire staff and board of Folk Alliance International to share some important updates regarding the year ahead. As a nonprofit organization serving a global community, we have a responsibility to our founders, our mission, and our membership to continue to provide relevant services while ensuring our own viability. We know that the entire folk music community is concerned about their personal and professional lives at this time, and that many are struggling. Everyone is affected by the pandemic. What we don't know is when things will stabilize, when a vaccine will be discovered and widely available, when cross-border travel will be permitted, when it will be safe to hold large gatherings in close quarters, when our community will feel safe and comfortable to do so, or when folks will have the financial resources to meet again. Given the countless pandemic implications over which we have no control, Folk Alliance needs to be decisive, nimble, and innovative. And we must make responsible and proactive choices now, even if they're very difficult. As a result, we have suspended all of our events for the remainder of the calendar year. These include our Finest Folk concerts, the Kansas City Folk Festival, and our upcoming exchange program in Ireland. Additionally, the Nordic Folk Alliance has been postponed, and to date, 3 of our 5 regional conferences have confirmed postponements. Additionally, contingencies are being discussed regarding the launch of Ethno USA, which is presented in partnership with Brussels-based Jeunesse Musicale International. But our most significant announcement today is that after substantial consideration of all the risks and options, we have determined that the best course of action for our organization and the community is to not hold an in-person conference next February 2021. Now, while this may come as a surprise, given that the original conference dates are still 10 months away, at this stage, even in a best-case scenario, the lingering impact of the pandemic would result in a critical financial loss for us. More importantly, our community needs us in a different way right now and for the foreseeable future. We will naturally be processing a full refund for everyone who has already purchased a 2021 registration, but we'd also like to share that we are going to be extending all current memberships through to the end of the calendar year at no extra cost to any member, regardless of when their membership expires. Naturally, we will also be consulting with the entire community around the best timing for the next edition of the conference. Despite these decisions, there are many silver linings to be found in the year ahead, and the exciting work that we will do now will ultimately make us a more resilient and responsive organization with long-term positive impacts for everyone. One of the things we look forward to doing this coming year is collaborating more closely with our regions and providing strategic support for their volunteer boards. As you know, Folk Alliance has always been a place for connection, inspiration, and exchange. And you can rest assured we will continue to be exactly that for you. But this year, we will be that online. Throughout this transition, we'll also be inviting your input and participation. The reality is that the production of the annual in-person conference typically consumes most of our time and resources. And instead, this year, we will immediately pivot to focus our work and to devote our full attention to developing meaningful online tools and resources, mounting a world-class online showcase conference, advocating for our community and industry as we do, and securing financial support for our organization and for those in the community in greatest need. To this end, we've launched a webpage, folk.org/resources, where you can find links to emergency funds, informative webinars, details about ongoing advocacy efforts, a connecting folk peer support network, and a revenue-contributing online concert hub will be launching next week. The year ahead will be challenging for us, and unfortunately, these difficult but necessary decisions require suspending a number of contracts and some staff layoffs of friends and colleagues who have been important members of the Folk Alliance team. I wish it were otherwise, but we are not immune to the financial reality that all organizations are grappling with. Folk Alliance will incur a substantial financial hit next year, with our first deficit forecast in over 2 decades. Thankfully, careful long-term stewardship of your donations and the proceeds of our conference years to date mean that we have a reserve in place to be able to address the entire financial loss of the coming year. It's our hope that by letting you know these things now, it will bring some clarity and relief, and that it might in fact support others struggling to decide how to proceed with their organizations and events. We all look forward to a time when we can gather again and simply sit in a room with a group of people and listen to live music. But that time is not right now. That time will come, and once we've all had a chance to get our feet back under us and determine our next steps, we will gather again, and it will be wonderful. Until then, we invite you to reach out to us, to stay engaged at folk.org and on social media, and to look for detailed updates from us in our monthly e-news. So for now, on behalf of the entire staff and board of Folk Alliance International, please be safe, take care of yourself and others, and let's continue to be the voice of the people by bringing meaning to the time through music and song. Thank you for listening, and thank you for your continued support.